Paige said that she feels that this is why they got matched.
I don't even know what she's talking about. What is why? Basketball?
Conversation?
Okay. So what are you talking about? I never know what you're talking about. Hey guys, welcome to part 2, Chris and Paige edition of Married at First Sight, season 12, episode 11. I'm Suga.
I'm Spice.
And let's get into it.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to open up with Paige we're going to open up with Paige talking to Haley and Brianna about her most recent interaction with Chris. So it's been weighing really heavily on her about this car that Chris got, Mercedes. She tells the group that Mercedes hasn't been driving for the past 6 years. She got into a car accident and she's been taking a lot of ride shares and things like that. So at this point, she hasn't driven for a long time.
Because she's traumatized from the accident.
Right. So he got her a new car so that she can, have something nice to drive. So she tells the group that he got her a car, but she did not tell the group that he got her a brand new Mercedes-Benz. So you could tell already that Paige is not really telling it completely how it is to the group. She's kind of sugarcoating it.
Paige is that friend that she knows that she's stupid as heck for staying with this man that is bringing no value to her life. But for some reason, she's just a glutton for punishment, and she just wants to stay in this relationship. Because she doesn't want to necessarily hear it from her friends,
right?
She's going to come back and only tell you a little bit, a small portion of what's really going on,
right? So
that it doesn't really hit her, because she knows what the response is going to be.
Right.
So she's just going to give you this much so that the response is this much. But if she told you the whole thing,
then you'll be looking at her sideways, and she don't want that either.
Right now they're still looking at her like, oh my gosh, Paige, poor innocent baby, innocent bystander, just got snatched up, and that's not even close to what's going on.
So then she opens up and she says at Bible study that they both said that they wanted their friendship to grow, and that's completely not what happened.
She's like, yeah, so you guys, Wednesday we have Bible study, but she said it as if like, yeah, we're progressing, things are getting better. You didn't tell them that it was his idea for Bible study because basically he didn't really want to do nothing else with you.
Right.
You didn't tell him that he got there and didn't have anything prepared for the Bible study that he suggested.
No Bible.
You didn't tell him that instead of being like, what the heck is wrong with you? You were like, well, let me get my Bible in Thessalonians. And you started teaching class, and you just missed that. You just left out so much stuff. Again, telling these half-truths, half-stories to make it look like it's better than what it really is. And then another thing that makes me mad about Paige is the fact that when she brings up the fact that Chris bought Mercedes a car, I just feel like he should have had that conversation with me first. Since I'm his wife, you just know all the right things to say, right? You know all the right things to do. You know how you should be treated. You know all of that. You never say it to Chris, nor do you apply it to your life. It doesn't make any sense. If you know better, you're supposed to do better. So he's treating you like crap, and that you're supposed to want better for yourself, but you're just not going to do it. You're just not going to do it. Why?
All in the name of being married.
In the name of God, apparently.
Right.
Blasphemy.
So then she says, and this part really confused me. She says that his actions and his words have shown her that there is a chance for something to grow.
Which one?
I'm completely confused by this because I would have thought she said his actions and his words don't match up. His words said that he's still in love with his ex-fiance. His actions showed that he wasn't calling you the past couple of days before you even met up with Dr. Viviana. from there, he bought the dang on ex-fiance a Mercedes. So, like, what actions and his words is showing that there's a chance?
When you're trying to plan activities, he's being extremely difficult, saying he don't want to do this. He didn't even want to give you a phone call when you asked for a singular phone call a day.
He said that was too much.
We can literally take it back to day 1.
Yo.
And get day 2. Every single episode, there's a reason why he does not want you. Proving he does not want you. A word that he said
through his actions
and some actions. In every single episode. Yeah. So what are you even talking about?
From that point, Brianna goes into the confessional, and Brianna really doesn't know all that has been going on. So Brianna goes into confessional, and Brianna's like, Paige wanted somebody who was ready for marriage right now. Paige did not get that. She got somebody who she believes is not even ready to be married at all. And Brianna also says that Chris is playing games right now and that this is just a whole bunch of BS about the way he's treating Paige. But what Brianna doesn't know is that Paige actually is a willing participant to all that is going on in the marriage. Paige doesn't want to be accountable. She always finds a way to make it about God and the process and this and it's always somebody else. She never wants to take accountability. So if you never want to take accountability, you're never going to make changes and you're going to end up with a failed result every time. So then at that point, Paige says to the group, like she has a revelation, maybe I'm falling in love with the idea of marriage and not in love with the person that I'm actually married to. What? Paige.
I am shocked.
And this is what this is just to continue your train of thought. She knows. Paige knows exactly what is going on. Paige plays dumb for us, and she acts like she's just a victim and she doesn't understand what's happening. Paige knows everything that's going on. Paige is choosing to stay because Paige wants to stay and be married. So, like, you're not a victim anymore. We go to the next scene where Chris and Paige have gotten together for basketball, and shout out to Paige's workout routine or whatever the heck she's doing because she looks good. And they are playing basketball. They seem to have a good time though. While they're playing, he teaches her how to shoot, and then he just like starts crossing her up, and that part was weird. I'm just like, yo, you gonna go like that hard?
Competitive with her for no reason. It's
but
so
why
weird.
you going so hard on her?
This just reminds me of the scene where she was like, "Yeah, I make less than you. What is it like? What's it like? Half or something like that? No, girl, it's like a fourth. It's like, what is all of that about?
Yeah.
Why do you have to like poke your chest out? Why are you trying to stunt on her every chance you get? She already said she doesn't know how to play.
So what's happening right now?
It's not like you dunking on Lisa Leslie. Like,
what are we watching? Well, after they're done playing basketball, Chris says that he wants to have between 3 to 5 businesses. He wants them to be generating a net profit of $1 million each. Chris actually describes himself as an introvert, which Paige finds interesting. But I could see that in Chris because he doesn't really present himself the best all the time. So I could see him like being really, really outgoing and then just kind of sit back and just being laid back and observing. Then Paige goes and brings up the discussion that she had with the Pastor Dwight, and she says that, he was engaged twice. So with him being engaged twice, why did it, the first one end? And he says that he was really young. He was only 20 years old, and he wasn't ready for marriage. He's still not ready for marriage. And, after all of this, they had a good conversation, with at the basketball court and everything. And Paige said that she feels that this is why they got matched.
I don't even know what she's talking about. What is why? Basketball?
Conversation?
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. What are you talking about? I never know what you're talking about.
Never understand what you're saying.
Never know what you're talking about. I think it's interesting that Chris has been engaged so many times. Why do you want to be married so bad? What is that about? I feel like, no, that's why y'all got matched, because y'all both want to be married so bad, but it's not for any of the right reasons at all. I don't know why Paige wants to be married. I really don't know. At this point, I don't know. Maybe it's a self-esteem thing for her, or just
like it's like a notch in your belt. People look at being married as with like a sense of accomplishment, like
it's like a trophy.
I did something, like, you know, like a badge of honor kind of thing.
And Chris, I don't know. I really don't know why he wants to get married, because he really just seems like the bachelor type, you know, where he just wants to flex all the time and flaunt and just be super flashy. So I don't know where that need to be married is coming from. I'm really confused. I don't know if he feels like he wants maybe like a trophy wife, or in his head, maybe he's like, I'm going to make all this money. I need somebody to just have my babies and cook and clean and all this other stuff. I don't know if that's what it is. I'm confused. He doesn't even seem like the marrying type at all. He seems like he just wants to play games all day long.
And imagine him at 20 years old. Oof. No.
Worse than what's going on now. Oh, probably some poor girl in a psych ward somewhere.
Then we actually hear Chris say that he is choosing to not give up on the marriage, and that he is going to choose to honor his vows that he made to Paige and to God.
I mean, you already walked out of the marriage like 12 times. But
Mercedes must have said something to him to piss him off.
And that's why he's over here like,
for him to be,
Paige,
something
Daddy's home.
Yeah, we're missing something. Something happened on the other side, because this is like a whole different energy than what we saw a couple days ago. It's not adding up. So then they go into playing pool. So from playing pool, you know, they're having a good time. Chris says that he sees Paige in a different light now. He says that he feels like she's beautiful, she's attractive, and of course, she has a nice body. So from that point, you know, they stop playing pool, and Paige actually goes in on Chris. She says that, you know, what I really need from you is consistency. And Chris is like, okay, well, what do you mean by that? And she's like, be consistent.
In communication.
In communication, right. So then he's like, okay, well, I called you and you didn't pick up. And she was like, well, you know, I was with my mom when you were calling me, so I wasn't able to pick up, but you could have just followed that up with a text. And he goes to say, well, I don't like texting like that. I'm more of a phone guy. Now you're a phone guy? Because last episode, Paige specifically asked you for one phone call a day. One phone call a day. And you said that that was too much for you. You don't feel like being forced into being into that kind of situation.
Pressure on my life, get off my back.
It was
she just acting like it was just too much. A phone call? Oh.
One a day.
Who's doing all that?
That's too much work. But now you're a phone guy. It's just the lies. You
Not
can't
only
keep up
are
with
you
the
a
lies.
phone guy, when she was calling you and texting you, and you weren't picking up your phone or answering any of her texts, it was cool. And you just popped up at her house like everything was cool. But now that she missed, in your words, which was a few calls, now all hell is breaking loose. Oh, it's the end of the world.
So then Chris says that he doesn't feel that Paige is trying and from a communication standpoint. So then from that point, Chris says that Paige is not meeting his emotional needs. And then she says, how am I not meeting your emotional needs? Like, you're the one who don't respect me. And he goes, I don't respect you? Like, no, you don't respect her.
That's the whole problem. What are you talking about?
So then he blames her for why their communication is not where it's supposed to be, because apparently she doesn't pick up the phone, so that's why their communication is
Those
bad.
few phone calls she missed,
She says, okay, but when we meet in person and I try to have a conversation with you, you have nothing to say, just like right now. And he goes to say, well,
he says, I don't have nothing to say when we're in person because you don't have nothing to say on the phone because you don't even pick up the phone. I can't concentrate on making this connection because you don't want to pick up the phone. Chris, if you wanted to leave, you didn't have to fake an argument to slide out. If you wanted to break it off with her, you could have been did this. You didn't have to fake get mad that she didn't answer your phone call. You know you ain't want to talk to her.
That's it.
You know you was happy she didn't pick up the phone.
Absolutely.
Why are you lying, Chris? Why?
Then he says that they don't talk off camera, so now why does she want to talk on camera? So I don't know what he's trying to get at.
You trying to say she's not genuine? She's not authentic?
Is you trying to say she? Yeah. Is that what? Is he trying to say that she's just trying to only be around him on camera?
One thing we know about Chris is that he likes to project.
Right.
So that's what I got from this. Like everything he's saying to her right now is what's really going on with him.
True.
So
that's true. So then from there, he just goes and lays it all out. He says, I have no connection with you. He's completely mentally gone. And because they don't hang out off camera, now he's the one who feels rejected.
So in the confessional 2.5 seconds ago, you just said, yeah, look at Paige completely different. And just like, I'm attracted to her. And she's such a good woman. And now you're like, I don't have no connection to you at all. You shouldn't have. When the connection was off on the phone call, when you ain't had no connection, I lost my connection.
Girl. Apparently, it works. Because then he says, we at a dead end. And Paige going off in the corner and start crying. What you crying for, girl?
If you don't get out of here.
I have not seen Paige cry this whole time, and he said some really mean things to make her cry. And I was like, what? Like, she just keeps eating it. And then he says, we're at a dead end because you don't pick up my phone calls, and now you crying? This is what got you to cry? But this is also the first time that I've ever even seen her actually stand up for herself and say what she's actually feeling to him. She always doing it with the friends and the producers and everybody else. And she was like straight up telling him, like, what you're saying is not making sense.
The only time we saw a small quarter of a half of a medium size of her having some type of backbone was when they met up after the meeting that they had with Chris, Paige, and Mercedes. And she got mad and she did her little walk off and she was like, you're wasting my time. I don't have to do this. Da-da-da-da. But then guess what? You came right on back, didn't you? Sat right back down.
Talking about a reset.
And then talking about a reset.
So then Chris says, we didn't make it. I'm sorry.
My bad, player.
Yo.
I can't know why he talks to her like that.
He's so not sorry. And he really doesn't care.
This scene really went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
And it was just really Chris being like, how am I gonna get up out of this?
You think so?
Let me start an argument.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So not only can I leave right now, I can leave forever. Because it literally came out of nowhere.
It's true. No, yeah.
It's just true. Because you know good and well, she called you a whole bunch of times, you did not pick up. You know she texted you a bunch of times and you didn't answer. So it doesn't even make any sense, which I'm surprised Paige didn't bring that up. It doesn't even make any sense for you to get mad that she didn't answer your call. Producers, I don't care how much sad music you play, how many scenes was she sitting by herself and I don't care.
Oh my God.
You're not gonna make me feel bad for this girl.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
It's pathetic.
When you see trash behavior, and you have a conversation about this trash behavior, and then you see no changes in that behavior, and you still continue to stick around, that's your fault.
Right.
I don't have nothing for you.
And even with that, you repeat the trash behavior and you put a whole bunch of sugar and coating and icing on top to make it look nice and not as bad as it is.
He didn't make not one change for you.
Not one.
Not one.
So at that point, she's looking at the pictures by herself. You know, they're playing the sad music. You know, she is, she goes to the camera. She tells them that she feels emotionally drained. Girl, I've been emotionally drained and I'm not in it. At this point, Paige says that she's going to move forward by herself and that she is going to be choosing herself. Finally. But is it real? Is it gonna really hold this time? Because we've been here before and he got her back.
I don't believe nothing Paige says.
You don't believe?
Not a thing. She probably texting her right now. What can we do to make this work?
You might be right.
Baby, please.
Oh, God. That's how we end off Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 11, Part 2, Chris and Paige edition. You know, from here, I don't really know where it's going to go, but I hope it stops here and we can, Paige could heal because this was a lot. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for always engaging. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done that already. And also, don't forget to follow us at Sugar and Spice 88 on Twitter and Instagram. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Good morning.
Good energy.
Today we gon' spread
Good energy.
Today we gon' share
Good energy.
I go to work.
Today gon' be a great day.
Good
Wake
energy.
up, thank God, drink water, meditate.
Good
First
energy.
5 minutes will dictate your whole day.
Good
All
energy.
about that positivity and raising up your frequency.
Good
If you
energy.
negative, you will get removed immediately.
Good
Say
energy.
eat clean, alkaline, nourishing.
Good
What you
energy.
put